This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Well, fat people, we really hate it. I'm speaking for all fat people. We hate being hot. Show me one fat person that likes being hot, and I'm gonna have some words with them. Like, why you playing? You don't like being hot, bro.
And co-host Marney Winfield.
It's the little things that I appreciate now in life, and this gas station is the gas station of all gas stations.
What makes it so special?
It's got like a coffee bar in there, kind of.
I was trying something new.
What's that?
I tried to play my favorite drop of all time from Ghost Adventures, where he hits the wall and runs into it. Like, he gets scared and then he runs into the wall and he's like, ah, ah. I figured I would time it to play it over when it said Marney Winfield. So they'd be screaming, ah, ah.
Oh my gosh.
So let's listen to the drop in its entirety real quick. From Ghost Adventures. So he hits the wall.
Get in here! Help me!
It's one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen ever.
You really enjoy that.
He ran so hard into that wall. Like, you're hunting ghosts, man. And then you see one, and that's your reaction. Can you imagine if a fisherman did that? If I was out fishing, and I hate fish, and they freak me out, and I caught one, and I pulled it out, and I'm like, ah! Ah! And I fall out of the boat or something.
Need to get a new profession.
Oh, man. Can you imagine a Bigfoot hunter? He finally finds a Bigfoot. He like, jumps off a cliff because he takes off running the wrong way. Falls into the Grand Canyon.
Reevaluate your choice of jobs.
I love social media.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Thanks, Pastor Deb. I had her on yesterday, and I was like, man, there's a lot of drops. I could get a lot of drops from her.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, just keep me posted.
I will. Keep you posted. So some new drops. And then friend Adam Brothers from the Stone Soup Recovery Podcast, he said, hey, man, I enjoyed the Pastor Deb podcast. I was like, cool. She was a great guest. You know, it's just, I love talking with people like that. It's just two people talking recovery. Mm-hmm. And then an hour goes by and you're like, oh, all right, well, I better let you go. But it was really good. And Adam said he enjoyed it. And I told him, I was like, yeah, there's a lot of drops I'm going to get out of that. And he's like, what's a drop?
Oh.
And I didn't have a chance to write him back yet because I've been doing 80 other things. Mm-hmm. Well, I've been trying to do one thing, but it makes me do 80 other things looking for the one thing and then realizing I don't have the one thing I need. I know that's too much insider information, but sorry, Adam. I know you listen, so you'll understand what a drop is now.
That's what's up, you know what I'm saying?
That's a drop.
Little clips that you can play when appropriate.
Yeah.
To spice up your podcast.
You know, if you didn't get a chance to listen to yesterday's podcast, go back and do so. Pastor Deb, she's from Chicago, and I reached out to her, and we've talked about her before, and I really enjoy her podcast because it's just real, and you can just tell those people, you know. And I said before, is she like a professional radio broadcaster? No, you know, but she's in it and she's doing it, and it takes a lot of balls. It really does. And she told me the story behind that, and just kind of God led her to it, and everything just fell into place. And I think she's in a good spot to help a lot of people. And she was telling me that people from Canada listen. And they like message her or call in every Sunday morning.
Nice.
And she'll be getting 6 years on the 28th or 29th.
Congratulations.
29th, I think it is. Yeah, she's good people. And I told her, you know, if we ever get down to Southwest Michigan, I know there's some recovery stuff that's going on probably this spring or summer down there. And I told her if we ever, you know, get down there for that, if we do get down there for that, you know, I definitely would invite her, and hopefully they can actually bring her on as a speaker. I think that'd be really sweet.
Yeah.
You know, Chicago is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from where I grew up.
Yep, sure is.
My stomping grounds. And it's funny because Tyrone asked me today, because he's like, when are you, he said something about moving out of Traverse City. And I was like, yeah, I'm moving soon. And he's like, no, you can't. He's like, you Mr. Traverse City.
Mr. Traverse.
I was like, why would I be Mr. Traverse City? He's like, he starts saying Tyrone stuff, because he's funny.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's funny. He's like, you can never leave Traverse City, Mr. Winfield. And I said, yeah, okay. Someone moved to Sutton's Bay. He's like, you can't move all the way up there. I'm like, really? It's all the way up there? You live in East Jordan, man. Mm-hmm. That's all the way up there. But I love talking with people in recovery, and whether it be Tyrone, who's a good friend, you, Pastor Deb, Adam Brothers, Justin, people at treatment centers, Paula, your boss. I guess technically my boss too, sort of. I don't know, Addiction Treatment Services. But they're just good people, man, and I like it. I like talking about that, obviously.
You get what I'm saying?
I love it.
Yeah, so how was your day? What have you been up to? You've been busy. How's school going?
School's going well.
How are you juggling that with your recovery?
It fits in to, recovery is my everyday, all day.
Oh, yeah.
And my world, my life is recovery, and recovery is my life. And so, I've discovered all these new things that I've wanted to finish and complete and start and enjoy. And, all those are made possible by being clean and sober. So school being one of them. And to answer your question, it's challenging to fit everything all together, for sure. But doable, and also making sure I'm taking care of myself, and stuff like that. So self-care, trying to get good sleep,
Okay.
all that.
Some people it stresses them out completely, and some people, like me, when you get the student refund back, it's like, man, I got money now. And I'm not saying that's a trigger, but I am really good, and most addicts I would say are, at making excuses of why F it. And I got money. I got a couple grand in the bank now. I'll just not take this class anymore. And for me, I'd set myself up a couple times for failure with that. Thinking, well, I don't need a job. I got money. I can drink now. I can get through this. My classes are Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I can drink on Friday, and I'll be good by the time class comes around. And there was a time or two where I actually made it, but most of the time it wasn't making it. It was falling right off. Then I have to drop classes and then try to beg my way back in the next semester because I still couldn't hold a job. And then just like, please let me just back in.
Well, I can say that this experience for me with graduate school is completely different from when I was even in my bachelor's program, because when I go to class or I'm doing my homework, and I mean, doesn't go for every assignment, and not even really for every class that I've taken in the graduate program, but the majority of it is I want to learn the material because I want to be better at my job. So there's a drive there that's internal, that's coming from bettering me, because I know what's being taught is pertinent to being a better social worker and being a better counselor, being a better therapist. And so when you want to learn the material, it's not that it's not hard work, because it definitely is, but you don't resent it so much. You're not so angry at it because you're just like, this makes sense.
That's what I want to do. These are things I want to learn.
And they're teaching me this stuff for a reason. And sometimes it's overwhelming because it's like, how in the freak am I supposed to remember all of this stuff and put it into practice? And all that comes with, doing it over and over. And you learn a little bit more and a little bit more, and you retain a little bit more and a little bit more. And, and then there's a piece of it that some of especially different professions, this goes for any profession, is maybe you're born to do it or you're meant to do it or it comes easier to you because it makes sense to you and because you believe in it. You know, so.
Passion helps and so does the belief in what you're doing. So that makes sense.
Yeah. And so a lot of the assignments and things, like, they challenge me. I don't look at it like, this is stupid. Why are they making me learn this? I'm like, this is difficult. There must be a reason I need to know it. You know, so it must mean that I'm doing the right thing. I've made the right choice. So that does not mean I cannot wait for it to be over because I am desperately waiting for that, to not have that other piece on my plate, because there's other exciting things that are starting to surface that I feel like I might be missing out on a little bit. But
You get what I'm saying?
yeah, see, Deb knows. She knows what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, just keep me posted.
I will. I will. We can have a whole conversation in drops.
I love social media.
Me too. I don't know about, not that much, but yeah. So I don't know. My day, and to answer your question, I had a good day.
Good.
Yeah.
Because, that was one of the things that I was thinking about when people go back to school, and it's about that time where people are going back to school and the refunds coming next month and they get that and they just let it go. And now me, the last couple of semesters, you could say that there was some stomach problems and some health issues I was having. But it was that damn art class that got me last time. You know, I was doing good in math. I was learning stuff. It was a business math class, so I was learning stuff that I actually need. So I kind of liked it. And she kept telling me how smart I was, so I liked that. But then the damn art class got me behind, and I that was the last one I thought would trip me up. And I was on academic probation from missing or dropping classes from the being sick or whatever. So I couldn't fail one class. And when I looked at the writing on the wall, and it's like, there's no way I can pass this class. Freaking art class got me. Freaking art class. So kids, take this as a lesson.
Did you do the work?
Yeah, I mean, I took the test and stuff.
Did you study for the test?
Yeah, when I was doing it.
When you were taking it?
Yeah, man, it was art.
You took
the business one stuff I did, and the other one I did, and I like that stuff. But the art, I'm like, what gives a waxy surface? A crayon? I don't know. But then they would be like a crayon, and they would say like 8 other kind of crayons. I'm like, they all do, but you can only have one answer.
I'm sure it was in the text that you were supposed to read for that.
No, because I even put it in. I searched for it because you could search for the words in there. So if it says, what would you use if you wanted a waxy surface? I would type, what would I use if I wanted a waxy surface? And it'd be like, bloop, oh, there it is. Some of the stuff was buried. Oh. Or there were so many tricky little, if you were painting on a white surface, did you use watercolor before you do the base of the oil? And then do you do crayon or you do chalk? And I'm like, I don't know. And then so I'd search that, and it would be tricky, and it got my ass. Like, I wasn't totally failing them. Like, I would get half of the questions right. Unfortunately, that's an F. You would think it'd be higher. 50% in school should be a B. It should be. Should be more forgiving. Art class. Come on, man. Careful, kids. Don't just take that.
Well, the other moral here of the story is that you need to attend history. You need to attend the class and read the materials.
That's the BS. And I love art, and I appreciate people that can do art, but I could have taken a rock and roll history class. That's the class that got my ass. Art. So, I really knocked it out in that rock and roll history class. Okay, that has no effect on my future or what I want to do. Art was kind of cool. I would rather paint something, and it was just all reading. And that was another thing. Like, there was no projects due. And I would look at it as, because I was interested and I was doing the recovery spotlights, which we just posted one from Dan, which if you have somebody or know somebody who's young and in recovery or afraid to be in recovery, watch the video. Dan kind of breaks it down. Dan's a young guy. I think he might be 30, 31 now, but he's got 5 years clean. So, I mean, to quit when you're like 25.
Right.
Like that's you couldn't have paid me $1 million and I would have been like, nope.
Right.
I'm not quitting drinking. That's stupid. But for him, just listen to the story. But anyway, so I was doing the video. So I was trying to compare things and put them in something that I could relate to or sense, it's like textures and stuff like that and backgrounds. I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to do this. So some of it I was kind of relating to, but like it just got so much like, bruh, I just couldn't do it. So I'm just saying, be careful, kids. I made that way too long.
About not
to
don't
just
take
say,
art class.
Be careful, kids, what you're taking with the elective, and old people too. Old people like me trip you up. Take the rock and roll history, man. You don't like that either. Like, why don't they just let you take like a free class of like counting, not accounting, just counting. I'm gonna count to like 100.
You would want to pay tuition for that?
No, but that's my point. Like, why do I have to have that many credits for not? I don't even want a degree.
So
Because I wanted the money.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what God knew that. So
That's why he gave it to me. He's like,
your intentions were not in the right place. No, they weren't. It wasn't to learn. It wasn't to learn.
It was to learn business accounting.
Well, then you should have just taken business accounting and left it alone.
Well, I couldn't because I needed that money.
See? Intentions, wrong. That's what it was.
I mean,
that's what happens.
Well, it was a good thing though, because Jesus came and said, Corey, you need this money.
It's not for you. It's a loan.
It's for us and our family.
It was a loan. It still needs to be paid back.
Thing about loans, let me tell you.
Oh, honey, please don't.
Let me tell you.
Okay. Yeah, just keep me posted.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. And you can hear this from your doctor too. We're not promised tomorrow. Just saying. So
if you borrow money, it's exactly that. It is not yours. It is borrowed, and it needs to be paid back. So.
But what if something happens?
I don't know. But I'm just saying, you can't have the mentality that it's just belongs to you.
You know that song? I think it was from Fame. Fame, we're gonna live forever.
Anyway, if you want any budgeting advice or credit building advice, don't call Corey Winfield.
Sorry, Tyrone. Tyrone's been asking me about this lately. I told him to ask you.
There you go.
So I just passed on the info. Yeah.
Okay.
Just saying. We're gonna live forever. No, you're not. I'm gonna go out with a lot of debt. Fame.
Yeah, and that's the thing is your debt's my debt.
It doesn't work that way, honey.
Oh, it doesn't? Oh.
No, I don't think so. I'm kind of new to this marriage thing.
Oh, my goodness.
You don't ever hear of people getting a divorce and saying, well, that's your half and that's my half. I don't ever hear of that. Like when Johnny Depp and what's her face, whatever, got divorced. Like it was like, here, you take this, I take this. It wasn't like, here's your debts, here's my debts. Maybe it is, maybe it does. I don't know. I'm not planning on getting a divorce anytime soon. So I
was wondering where you're going to go with that, but
I know how that works, but luckily I'm too busy in the next few days to look into it to give you a report on that on Saturday's podcast. But no, recovery is good for me today, though. I like to joke around, stuff like that. We were in a meeting with some kind of important people today, and they said we had to do background checks because we're going to start a recovery community organization, community center. Add that at the end because we're already a recovery community organization.
Right.
We're going to start a community center. We get to hire some recovery coaches, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun in recovery, and hopefully we'll help a lot of people and give them an outlet, give them a place to go. You know, a community that can feel a part of, and we can really grow it and volunteer in the community. Like that's one of the things I'm real big on. So, but anyway, we're in there and they were like, you got to run background checks on people. And I was like, yeah, but and some, if you have swindled Medicaid in your past, then we can't hire you. But other things can be overlooked, a little explanation. And so it said something about, so I can't hire a murderer or a killer or something, or I don't know. I started off down Corey Comedy Central land, and you had to apologize for me. You're like, I'm so sorry. His humor or something. I'm just like, I block out. Because I don't know if they thought I was joking, and I was like, so I can't hire anybody who's murdered somebody and buried their body in the yard or something.
Right.
Because they should have buried them deeper. Is that why we're not?
Yeah. Well, I think that people obviously know you're not being serious, but they don't know how to respond to that. Like, do I laugh at him, or do I feel sorry for him for not for taking away from the focus of what this conversation is supposed to be about?
You get what I'm saying?
That's what I wanted to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It was
overall, it was a great meeting. It's just, we did good. It went well.
Yeah, we did. We made some progress in that. So if you're in the Traverse City, or not just in Traverse City, but Charlevoix, Petoskey, Northern Michigan, pretty much, then come hang out with us sometime, and we'll keep you posted, and the details will be coming soon on that. And as far as like being able to continue to take people to treatment, we're going to be doing that, and probably a lot more of that.
Yes.
And that's for people. We're not just taking everybody who needs to go to treatment. That's not what we're trying to say. There are people who have family members that take them to treatment. Mm-hmm. My mom used to. And then she got tired of it and said, nope, I'm not doing it anymore. A lot of people do that out there. And some people, they have no other way there, and we can't let that be a barrier. And that's what we've been screaming for a while. And Northern Michigan Regional Entity, NMRE, they know that too, and they understand that. And so they kind of went to bat for us, and they were like, let's try this out.
Yeah.
As far as I know, we're one of the first people to do that around here. And people in Northern Michigan, will make sure they get where they need to go if they have no other way there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a big deal. And I was told today, like, aren't you excited? That's a huge deal. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. And
It's a huge deal. And it's something that, we've both been putting a lot of effort into making a lot easier. I mean, we've been doing it. You've been doing it for years now. And it's just it's kind of like gotten our claws in, like, knowing that this is a need and we need to be there for it. But we're kind of now being recognized, like, we agree with you. It's a need, and let's try to make this a little bit easier for it to happen. And let's try to figure out how more people can actually utilize those services. And that's what we were waiting for, and that's what we were going for. And now it's happened. So you should be celebrating that.
I'll celebrate when I make my movie. That's what I want to do, though. I want to make a movie about something. And I'll team up with Michael Moore. He can kind of give me some pointers. Oh, my mom. Oh, speaking of Dan's video earlier, my mom was not a fan. She's like, I didn't like the camera angle. Couldn't you have done this better? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Mm-hmm. I was like, Thanks, Mom. I don't know. Maybe if you got me that camera for Christmas. I mean, she did give me a camera for Christmas, but like if she would have gave it to me like on December 1st, I would have had it when I recorded Dan on December 3rd. So, but no, it was still good. And, we have the one camera, which I really like. I think it looks great. And I'm still working on lighting and all that kind of stuff. But I'm my biggest critic, and Tyrone enjoyed it. Adam Brothers, again, enjoyed it. Dan said he enjoyed it. And that's all that kind of matters,
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
My sister said, what's up with the sad music? It's not sad music. It gets happy at the end. In the very beginning, it's kind of cool how it starts off.
Yeah, it is really cool. You guys should watch it.
Yeah, check it out. It's on YouTube. It's also on our app, 217 Recovery app. So look for that. And I think, I posted it on Facebook.
I love social media.
Yeah. And I posted it on Twitter, I think, as well. Mm-hmm. So find it on social media somewhere and watch it. It is good. And like I said, especially if you know somebody who's young, have them watch it. Or maybe you watch it and maybe that'll give you an understanding of what they might be going through. Because it's hard to talk to somebody who's young and hell, even old. It's hard to tell them, hey, maybe we shouldn't drink all that today. Maybe you shouldn't be putting that in your bloodstream, buddy. But Dan will break it down for you and kind of help you understand. But
Yeah.
appreciate you listening.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Yeah, thanks for joining me tonight. Mm-hmm. Marnie, I appreciate that too.
Yeah.
All right, well, until Saturday,
Yeah.
hang in there and go get some credit cards.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Win a bunch of free shit from 217 Recovery. Go to the app or the website, 217recovery.com.